Well, folks, now we've got transgendered fans of the WNBA that are out there burning Sophie Cunningham's jersey in protest. I couldn't believe this when I first saw it. I didn't think it was real. I was wrong. It is. Let's get shady with it. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Shady. You're in the zone. And like I was saying, when I first saw this thing about transgendered fans of the Women's Basketball League burning Sophie Cunningham's jersey, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was something that was made up, something to get clicks, something to get likes, something to get attention. I was completely wrong, y'all. See, a couple weeks ago, Sophie made a statement about how she didn't believe that men should compete in women's sports. She didn't believe that little girls should have to compete against little boys. Well, the trans community has just went off the rails on this. So what are they doing? They are burning Sophie Cunningham's jerseys in protest. Hang on just a second. Let's take a look at this, because this is all over social media right now. And honestly, I didn't even think it was a thing. But this is a film. This is a little clip off of X, and I want y'all to take a listen to this. I'm going to do my best to not say anything during this entire clip. I want y'all to just take a minute and let this soak in.
This jersey used to represent someone I respected as an athlete. Today it represents something I can't support anymore. Sports have the power to bring people together, but when someone uses their platform to demonize or marginalize an already vulnerable community, I have to decide where I stand. So today I'm not burning a person, I'm burning my support. As a trans woman, I've spent years fighting just to exist authentically. I won't spend $1 or another minute or another ounce of energy supporting people who contribute to making that fight harder. This isn't about hate, it's about accountability. My money, my attention, and my support are things people earn, not things people are entitled to. If standing up for the trans community costs me a jersey, that's a cheap price to pay. Choose empathy, choose respect, choose humanity.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Come here. Look, first of all, I promise I'm not going to make fun of this dude's voice, because he is trying so hard to sound like a girl. I guess that Adam's apple kind of gets in the way just a little bit. But y'all, this is some of the stupidest thing. There are a lot of stupid things in the world, and I cover a lot of them in these videos. But this right here, this week, this is taking the top. This is getting a top spot right now this week in stupid things on social media. Like I was saying, here about a week and a half ago, Sophie made a statement. It was her personal viewpoint on this whole idea of men competing in women's sports. And she said that she didn't think that it was right. She said that it wasn't fair for young girls and women to have to compete against men in contact sports like basketball, soccer, rugby, just name some contact sport. And we've got all these transgenders out here that are supposedly fans of the WNBA that are actually burning Sophie Cunningham shirts in protest. Okay. Let's think about this for just a second. And the guy in the video, he touched on it just a little bit. It's his money, yada yada yada. This is not the way that you protest something. This is not the way that you. Yeah, y'all ain't real good at cancel culture, are you? Because this ain't the way to do it. Okay. You spent money on a Sophie Cunningham jersey. And I looked this up on the internet. These jerseys run anywhere from, I don't know, about $20 to, I saw one going for $400 on the internet that you could purchase. So you're going to spend, let's just say $20 because you're a cheapskate anyway. All right. You spend $20 on a jersey. As soon as you spend that money on that jersey, the league gets their cut of the merchandising. And guess what? Sophie Cunningham gets her cut of the merchandising. So when you buy that shirt, you're literally supporting Sophie Cunningham. And then you take that shirt and you burn it. Are you insane? Do you not know how things work? And I know there's going to be somebody out there and they're going to say, well, I bought my Sophie Cunningham jersey at the thrift store. All right, Scooter. Okay. You bought your jersey at the thrift store. For one thing, Sophie Cunningham is hot right now. She is one hot commodity right now. I would say that Sophie Cunningham and maybe one or two people are actually the only things that are keeping the WNBA afloat right now because they're bringing in that popularity. They're bringing in that attention. Okay? So, you bought it at a thrift store. We're going to give that to you. So, you paid somebody for a shirt that somebody else had already paid for. Don't matter that you only paid $250 for this jersey. Somebody else paid $20, $40, $50, $400 for this jersey. The money has already went to support the league and Sophie Cunningham. So even if you bought this at a thrift store, it shows how stupid you are to buy something and then take it out and burn it and think you're making some kind of big social justice warrior stand about Sophie Cunningham when all Sophie Cunningham did was express her opinion. As far as I can remember, this is still a free country and you are free to express your opinion. So if expressing your opinion means making a total idiot of yourself on social media in front of the world, then you go ahead and you pour that lighter fluid all over that jersey and you set it on fire. That is just like you go out and you buy yourself a brand new Tesla and you come back and you park it in your driveway. And then to protest Elon Musk, you set your own car on fire. That is exactly what this is. And before anybody says anything, guess what? MAGA conservatives, you ain't no better. You're not one bit better. Do you remember back a couple of years ago when everybody was all up in their feelings over Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney or whatever her name was, and everybody was boycotting Bud Light? That's the part that worked. It was not Kid Rock spending $200 or $300 on 10 cases of Bud Light and then shooting them with an automatic rifle. That was not what did it. It was people not buying Bud Light. And that's what I try to tell people when they see something and they don't like it in the NFL. Let's just say in the NFL. They see something, they don't like it. Players kneeling on the sideline. I was against it too. All these little sayings and stuff that they were putting on their helmets and on their jerseys. I was against it too. Weird stuff painted in the end zone. I was against it too. And people say, well, I'm just not going to watch the NFL anymore because they offended me. They don't care if you don't watch. They really don't. What the NFL cares about, of course, you do have to watch, but they don't care about that. As long as they have advertisers that are spending during the Super Bowl millions of dollars to put their ad in the Super Bowl, they don't care one way or another. How do you get them? How do you protest? How do you boycott the NFL? It's really simple. You don't buy anything that they advertise. And when Budweiser or whatever spend $2-3 million for a 30-second ad in the Super Bowl and nobody's buying their product, that's when you make a point. It's not when you go buy a Sophie Cunningham jersey, then take it out in your driveway, trying to talk like a girl, talking about all the problems you've been through and all the struggles that you've had and this and that and the other. And then you set her jersey on fire. That's not canceling anything, Scooter. As a matter of fact, what you're doing by putting her name out there, by making idiotic videos like that, what you're doing is you're increasing her brand. You're making Sophie Cunningham more popular and richer by the second, every single time you do it. So, just a short little video on some of the stupidity that is happening right now in front of our face. And it's like I said, I didn't even think this was real. It was so freaking dumb. But the video that I showed you guys, that's not the only one that's out there. There's a few more. If you look for them, you can find them, and they're equally all just as stupid as this one is. All right, y'all, until the next time, take care of each other. God bless every single one of you. Stay shady. And for God's sakes, don't go burning people's jerseys to make a point. Y'all take care.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. And these shields, boys!